Two.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello. We are having a little fun before we started, but here we are live. Thank you so much. Sorry if my microphone did that. Anyway, we're having fun here. We are in our homes figuring this all out today for another wonderful Tuesday tutorial. And we are so happy to have you join us. Thank you so, so much. We're doing something a little different where we're focused on the eyes. So we might have some different framing. Sometimes we might go in and out of frame. We will always come back and make sure you see everything perfectly fine. So once again, we just appreciate your patience with all of this. It means so much that you want to spend any time with us at all. Yeah. So it's really fun. Hello, feel free to say hi and where you're from. We always ask. Natalie predicted it. And she's coming in from England. We have Hillary from Pennsylvania. So you guys are already super on the ball. Thank you.
Wow, that's awesome.
Feel free to tell us where you're from. And if you have any questions at any time, let us know.
Yes.
I'm Amber. I'll be handling questions and kind of helping things along. But the real star of today and all Tuesdays is Jené.
Thanks, Amber. Hi, everybody. And we're coming to you live from Los Angeles, but from our separate homes and doing our best to do this live. I apologize if the internet breaks up a little bit or something like that. Just bear with us. We'll come right back. Yeah. And man, I don't know what the weather's like where you're watching from, but it's hot in Los Angeles. It is warm. We're starting that summer weather already. So, whew,
yeah.
Goodness sakes.
Yeah, so you might see me mopping my brow from time to time. So bear with us with that. Yeah, it went from like 58 degrees to 88 degrees in a week.
Honestly.
In LA. So a lot of fun. But anyway, today we are doing eye makeup. Focusing on eye makeup. We're going through some of the common mistakes that can happen with eye makeup. And with that, when we say mistakes, we're just talking about sometimes you can do certain things on your eyes and you don't realize they're maybe giving you an effect that you didn't quite look for. It's having an effect you didn't quite want. But that doesn't mean that you have to do exactly what we say. If you want to do the opposite on purpose, or you like the look, or it fits your face better, that's absolutely fine. So we're saying mistakes, but there's really no mistakes. These are just ways to kind of optimize your eye makeup if you want and go for a certain kind of look. And of course, you can break those rules at any time for whatever feels fun for you. These are just some tips to maybe make it a little more streamlined if you're looking for that.
It's so true. There are so many different types of eyes. We all have different eyes, not just color, but we have different eye shapes, and we all have different eye concerns. Some people might not like the way that their eye is shaped, where others might embrace it and want to enhance that shape. So it really depends on you and what you're looking for. I'm going to go over all kinds of different things, and some may apply to you, some may not. But maybe you'll learn a new trick today, hopefully. And I know for me, I have downturn eyes and I have hooded eyes. And so for me, those are two things that I personally always try to find, makeup tricks for and things like that. And I know that we get a lot of questions about hooded eyes and things like that. So I feel you, girl. I have hooded eyes. And sometimes I just feel like, why even bother with eyeshadow if you can't even see it because my eyelids are so small, But I'm going to show you fun tricks for that. You can wear eyeshadow. You should wear eyeshadow. It's going to be great. We're going to go over all kinds of things. But to start out, I've already done my brows today. We're going to just talk about eye space, mascara, liner, and shadow, not brows, because brows are like a whole different beast all on their own. We could do a whole segment on that. And we actually have. There is a tutorial video that you can find that we did how to do brows like a couple months ago, back before the times of the quarantine. So that was in our studio space. Go check that out. Highly recommend it.
And we have a playlist of all of our tutorials, Tuesday tutorials, all in a playlist, so you can look through them easy and find all of our Thursday Q&As and vintage makeup with Gabriela. They're all in one place. If you go on our channel, they should be easy to find.
Yes.
Sorry.
Absolutely. Thanks. And so I've got my brows done already. I have powder. I have some rouge on. It's crimson or apricot. I think it's apricot today. I forgot what I reached for. And then I'm wearing, and I have some on my teeth. That's cool.
Okay.
I'm
Also,
wearing
Jené
chocolate
is
kiss.
a new mom, so she is working, setting up a studio, has a
Yes.
wonderful child, and she's doing a lot. So.
I'm glad you bring this up because that's another eye concern that we're going to talk about today.
Oh.
Tired eyes. I have this. I
I
have
don't have a kid and I have tired eyes
I have
every
I
day.
have the puffy eyes, I have the dark circles, and I try concealer, but like, the concealer can only
Oh,
do so much, right? So, but it's, that's another effect that we typically don't want our eyes to look tired, right? We want bright and awake eyes, even if we are tired. I'm tired. My 3-month-old kept me up all night last night. It's real. It's very real. But here we are. We're doing makeup and we're having a good day because that's
yeah.
just life. So that's one of the main concerns that we're going to address today. So let's just jump right in, and we're going to start with eyeshadow. So, so when doing eyeshadow, um, again, the thing about makeup is, yes, there are rules, and those rules can be broken. And when you're getting creative, go for it. Break the rules, do whatever you want. This is just talking about maybe you didn't know that this is the effect that you're doing when you do these things. So,
Yeah.
with eyeshadow, if you're going to do just a simple look for every day or even in the evening, then I would recommend picking a shade that is light and a shade that is dark. And we're going to use the shade that is light to bring out your actual eyelid space, and the shade that is dark to go into the crease to kind of create dimension. Um, when a lot of makeup, thinking about it with colors, is kind of thinking about like highlights and shadows, maybe like you learned back in art class in high school or something like that.
Yeah.
Just the very basics of what the light hits, you're going to notice first, and then what's darker is going to seem more like shadow. And so you want to play with those colors, those highlights, and those shadows on your face. Um, so here we go. So because we're talking about mistakes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one eye, my left eye, um, as the no side, and then the right eye as the yes side. So we're going to do a light color and a dark color. The way we want to do it is the light, like I said, the light on the lid and the dark in the crease. But I'm going to show you why you might not want to just do all dark. Even if you're going for like a smoky eye look, which um, typically would be, you know, like
Something.
dark
Yeah,
around
this
the
dark
yeah.
all. You kind of think of it as dark all
You
over.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
You don't really want to do just one color for that all over the
Mm-hmm.
entire eye, because then again you're not creating any dimension. And it can just look like your eye is just sort of like a socket.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be using the Sleeping Beauty palette. If you have this at home, play along. I'm choosing this because there are so many different shades to choose from, and they're all really beautiful, rich colors and matte colors. So let's just jump right in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to. I actually haven't even chosen which colors I want to use.
I know it's so hard to choose
It's
sometimes.
so it's so hard to choose.
And
There's
these two at home, if you're trying this along with us, you don't need to have this palette. Just have a light color and a dark color, and they can be whichever you want.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a darker color on this one. It's going to be Rose 105. So this color is, I hope you can see, it's this guy right here. So it's kind of a
Okay.
darker, pinkier color. And I'm going to mistakenly apply that directly to the lid really, really heavy. So it's pink, but it's like a dark pink. So you'll see what I'm talking about.
So this is going to be our no eye
Right.
over here of showing that in.
Yes.
And again, you could use a purple, you could use a brown, you could even use a dark green or a dark blue. This kind of stuff is totally up to you. If you want something that's more of a kind of neutral effect, a kind
Mm-hmm.
of brown would be good. And yeah, you can see how immediately that's a very strong look all over the eye there on our
Yes.
no eye.
Right. So, and again, this color is really beautiful. I'm not saying you can't wear it on your lid, but if you're going to wear it on your lid, make sure you go even darker for your crease instead of the opposite. I'll show you what the opposite would look like. So another tip, use a different brush for a different color if you can. If you don't have that many brushes, you can either just give it a quick little wipe off to get that extra color off. Or I have this this stuff that's called Dry Clean, which is instant dry brush cleaner spray. You don't have to like use water in between. You just spray it and it helps like change color real fast, which is great. So that's what I use, and then just sort of hit the paper towel with it to kind of get off some of that extra color so you're not mixing up all your colors.
Yeah, I've definitely thought I was putting a white, right under my brow, and then it turns out it was just all the colors I'd used before because it was not washed off properly and just had a beautiful mud, beautiful mud effect on my eye. Yeah, so cool. So now you're going in with a light color
A
in
lighter
the
pink.
crease, a lighter pink in the
And
crease.
another mistake I'm doing right now is that I'm taking it all the way up to my eyebrow. And I'll explain that later, why we might not want to do that. So I'm taking it all the way up to the eyebrow. And then another mistake I'm going to show you right now is back with that darker color. I'm going to go in too far toward my nose. So I'm going to get right here in this
okay. So you're
socket.
getting like right there.
Right into the socket on this side, which a lot of people don't even realize they do, that they take it in a little too far.
Yeah.
But if you can tell, I kind of think this looks like I have a black eye. It kind of looks like I got punched in the eye a little bit. What's happening? Oh, go ahead, Amber. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. I was just this very editorial look in
That's
a
true.
nice way. Very
That's true.
high fashion, unusual look.
Yes. And because I have a hooded eye, what I've now done is I've really drawn attention to all of this space, and the eyelid is kind of disappearing back into my head, which is not my desired look. I want my eyes to appear bigger, which is tough with hooded eyes, but the key is that you want the lighter color on the lid, the darker color on the crease, again, to kind of pull that out and make it look better. So what I'm going to do now is do that on this eye. Should I just swap the colors or should I do something else? You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to pull out a different palette because as I do this, I'm going to bring in another element, which is shimmers. So something that sometimes people do and they may not realize is apply a shimmer all over the eye, or they apply a shimmer not to the lid and just to the crease. So I'm using my Agent Carter palette, and I'm going to use the shade Dugan to put this glittery on, again, on the no eye. I'll get to the yes eye, I promise.
Yeah, we're just showing how these things kind of come together and how quickly, because
Right.
sometimes when you're doing your makeup, you are just like, all of a sudden you're like, what happened? Something went wrong, and now I've got to like take it all off and start over. And this is just showing how quickly just some of those little tweaks can then make that whole look a little like more overwhelming than you want.
So I put a shimmer just on this part of the eye, like on my bone, my eye bone, like the crease part, and not on the lid. And now, hopefully you can tell, but a shimmer is meant to catch the light, right? It's meant to catch the light, and if it catches the light, then we're talking about highlights, not shadows. So again, we're highlighting this part, we're bringing this out and bringing attention, and not to the lid. So now let's correct those shadow mistakes on the yes eye. So we're going to do the opposite. We're going to do something light and something slightly shimmery on the eyelid. And then we're going to do something matte and darker into our crease. So again, I'm using, I just picked up my Agent Carter palette again. I'm using Zero Matter, but you can use any light color shadow, any shimmery color that you want to go for here. And I'm applying it to the lid.
Yeah. Oh, pretty. And it can just be like a light whitish color, off-white color, a light taupe, a light pink, even a light blue if you like a more colorful look, or a lilac kind of color, I think can be pretty. But yeah, something like that. And then if you have a shimmer and want a shimmery look, this, is the place for it. We also have some people talking about all they're from. We had a little club about oily skin going on, which I love. Totally could feel you on that one. And we will get also to winged liner and liner with hooded eyes, because we've had that question a little bit too. So that's coming up just for everybody watching at home. Cool.
Yes,
So you have
totally.
your light color on.
So I have my light color on, and if you notice, because it's a light white, I also went in over here just ever so slightly, just to highlight this part of the eye. Again, it gives that appearance of a whiter, brighter eye. So now with my matte color, I'm gonna go back to my Sleeping Beauty palette. I'm gonna use this for the crease, and another key is I'm gonna keep it only in this area, kind of here, right? On the outside, going into the corner, and I'm only going to go about halfway, and I'm not going to go toward the nose, and I'm only going to blend up toward the eyebrow, but don't start with your product up here. So that's another mistake, is that some people see the product going up high and they think, oh, I'm going to start up there with the product. But once you place that shadow, it's very hard to blend it out. You're going to have a line up there, kind of like I do, right by your eyebrow. So start low, start right in that socket, just stick it in there, and then blend upward to help you not get that line. And don't get too close to the brow. Although if you do, you can always fix that. It's easy to do when you're just getting excited. And so, okay, gotta
Oh, sure.
switch my brush here.
And I feel like you can see already that just using that shimmer, especially at the corner, kind of near the tear duct of the on our right eye, that it like does wake up the face. It gives you that kind of like bright-eyed look, even with just that much shadow on and nothing else.
So I'm gonna use this color Plum 107. And again, just starting right here, just a little bit of purpley.
And go light with these darker colors because ours are definitely pigmented, but a lot of them, the dark can sometimes show up a lot heavier than you think. So it's always good to start a little on the softer side and you can always add more in.
That's true. So now I applied it. I'm not a makeup artist, so bear with me. It doesn't look absolutely beautiful the second I put it on, but I'm gonna blend it out anyway. So there we go. But I hope you can see kind of um, where I placed that. And now I'm just gonna blend.
And I think it's like a real misnomer that people think that even a makeup artist is just kind of like bloop, 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 I'm perfect. Whereas everybody, you gotta really blend stuff. It takes a little bit of time. And I know when I do my makeup, there's always a phase of my makeup where I'm like, well, I just look nutty. This looks bizarre. But then when I just blend it in and like add mascara and put the lipstick on, somehow it kind of all comes together. So if stuff ever looks a little dark or a little like, oh, have I done it right? Half the time you just have to blend it in a little bit more and make sure you know you finish your other steps and then you're probably good to go.
Okay, so here we go. Just two colors. That's
Yay.
all I did. Some people choose to do a third or even a fourth to have fun with color. Go for it. But this is like the basic shape and the basic idea that you're going to want to go for, especially if, like me, you have hooded eyes and you really want to open those eyes up and not have them look sunken. Even if your eyes aren't hooded, but you've got puffy eyes or tired eyes, these are also really good tricks to help lift the eye. As you can see, this one is looking more like lifted and open with those lighter colors, where this one's really like sinking inward and probably looking like smaller, right?
Yeah.
It's just tricks with colors and light. So another shadow trick I'm going to do really quick is just apply a little bit of shimmer up here to the brow bone as another highlight, because this is like the foremost, part of our face. So we do want to add some highlight just to naturally brighten the eye and look like it's catching light here. But go easy on it. I've seen people do a little too much and then it's all you can see of the eye. So I just used my fingertip and just did ever so slightly a little bit. On the other eye, I'm going to apply way too much.
And we had a question as you're going through that of what colors do you recommend for a beginner in makeup? I don't want to buy a huge palette, but I still want to look good. It said Hippo Me. That's a very cute name, Hippo. So I would say that you can find like little quad palettes that are just four colors. And an easy thing to do is to go with neutrals if you're just starting out. So kind of shades of brown or shades of gray, just depending on your taste. I personally like purples, but I think that depends on everybody. But I think if you're going to venture into color, I think purple's kind of a nice gateway or mauve tones a little bit. But yeah, I would say a neutral palette with like a very light color, especially a shimmer, and then a couple shades down of taupes and browns. That's a very safe thing to do to get started. And then if you want to add more color, then you can have fun and try, you know, individual eyeshadows or other smaller palettes.
Okay, so can we see the
Yay!
difference just a little bit versus a whole lot? How
Yeah.
that immediately changes, again, changes the shape of the eye right away that we just see, you know, it's like you're really drawn to looking at this, which is not what we're going for most of the time anyway.
Yeah, I know. Susan said your eye is looking, the wrong eye is looking very 80s. Like, yes,
Ah,
I'd say we got it.
interesting.
And also, oh yes, Hippo Me says she also has green eyes. With green eyes, I definitely like purples, I will say. But that's me. I love eye colors more than most people do. So, but if you want to like experiment, kind of a dusky purple might be something to try.
All right,
Yay! All
so
right.
that those are my tips on shadow, but we're gonna move on to liner now. So for
Yay!
liner, there are a lot of ways in which things can just end up going wrong, and the best tip I have for avoiding mistakes with liner is practice. That's the simplest, easiest tip.
Yep.
Just practice. Practice makes perfect. It took me a long time to get down the way I wanted my wing to look, and I love doing a wing liner. And you don't have to do a wing liner, but I know it's super popular, and especially if you like your makeup to reflect more of the classic eras, then
Yeah.
you're probably more drawn to a winged liner. But don't be intimidated. It's absolutely doable. Hopefully, some of these tips help you find the way. But again, just practice really, really helps. So I'm mixing up my brown cake right now. I'm going to use brown for liner, which is really, really pretty. It's not your typical look with like that heavy black liner.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I'm doing this is because I just felt like it. I'm not saying that there's a color that's right or wrong,
No.
but go with what you like. And today I like brown, and today I want to do some brown. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so any questions first before we jump into liner?
Not too much. We had a quick question about a side note of foundation sticks. They're not coming back, unfortunately, at least not in our immediate plans. So sorry about that for foundations, but we do have lots of other fun things coming up. Also, if you are doing this along with us or doing it later, you can use a liquid eyeliner of your choice. It doesn't have to be cake mascara, but it does make a very nice and kind of easy to use liner, I'd say, especially when you're used to it.
Totally.
Great.
Also, in just general how-tos on using liner or cake as liner, I'm sorry, we have a lot of videos on our YouTube
Yes.
channel that you can check out that answer basically any possible question you could possibly think of.
Yeah.
So it's a great
How much
resource to
water
check
you
out.
need, how much, all that kind of stuff. So that's also on our YouTube page under a different tutorials playlist, all there for you under Cake Mascara. So, yes, check that out if you want more information on that specifically.
So let's start with the wrong side.
Yay.
So here's what we're gonna not want to do. We're gonna not want to just go in and just one full motion try to make this work, because you're probably not gonna get a very straight line.
No.
So I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna go for it from inner
Just
to outer,
one,
one whole swoop. Here we go. This feels really weird to do this because I never
I
do
can
this.
imagine. I I would probably have the liner. I mean, I'd have like a crazy map of like the New York subway when I was done. If I tried to just do it all in one, it would be
Actually, I'm kind of proud of myself. That
wow.
wasn't so
That
bad.
is, I know. Way to, you just can't be wrong today. You
Well,
can't
okay,
do
that's fine.
it.
I am noticing that I should add like a little more water and mix it up a little bit more because I'm not totally getting the desired effect I want
That's
to
okay.
really be able to see it. Hopefully you can see what I did.
And on the wrong eye, we might not see it quite as much just because it's that purposely heavy shadow, and you'll also get to see it
Right.
cleaner in the other side. And quickly, we did have a question about, or M. Jones says she loves your lipstick. Jené is wearing Chocolate Kiss. We did have some people asking about that in previous videos. that is what it looks like in person. It is very, very pretty. And I am wearing Mickey Mouse red if you're curious about mine.
Yay! I love Chocolate Kiss. Okay, so another wrong thing that I've seen people do that they might not realize they're doing is that their wing is going to be too low. So again, when we want our eyes to be bright, open, and lifted, we want our wing to really help with that. If our eyeliner comes down all the way down, especially with downturned eyes like I have, all the way down, and then that wing doesn't go up enough, flick up enough, or out enough, it's going to make the eye look really droopy. I don't think we really want droopy eyes, unless that's what you're going for. Unless
Yeah.
your eyes are too perky and you want to like bring them down a bit.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm going to say most of us probably aren't looking for that droopy eye, especially as we deal with signs of aging. Droopy eyes, not our friend. So I'm going to show you how that works. Again, I brought the eyeliner all the way down to like the lower lash line essentially, and then I'm going to just go out from there.
So yeah, you're kind of starting your wing then in the wrong way down, almost like going straight out from the lower lash line, as opposed to giving it a little more of an angle.
Right.
And you can see how easy it would be to do that, because you think like, oh, I got to line my whole eye, and then by the time you're already starting down there, it's going to be harder to get the angle that you want. We also have tips about eyeliner in another previous tutorial, so you can check that out too if you just want more of the like really, really intricate details.
So another thing, I kind of made this thicker than I wanted to, but another thing that people sometimes do is that their wing is too thin. This is not that case. This is a little more on the thick side. But if it's too thin compared to the rest of your liner, again, it's going to make your eye look more droopy because just playing with that dimension. We want to think like starting thin and then going a little more thicker toward the outside, and then once you reach, then it's thin again on the very end of the wing, like the tip of the wing, just because it's creating more dimension. You're playing with dimension. So
Cool.
this is my wrong, and now we're gonna go to the yes side, the side that gives us the desired look. Add more water.
Natalie did say she likes that the wrong eye is kind of like a monochrome look with your lipstick, and it is.
Hey,
I
there
mean,
you go.
and again, you can see the wrong eye. It's not even like it's bad. It's just a totally different feeling.
Yes. And monochrome is super fun. But again, if I were to do that on purpose, like a purposeful monochrome, I would probably do the shimmers on the lid, not the crease. And I would do darker on the crease, lighter on the lid. So already, how I'm doing, I started in the center of my eyelid and worked my way out. And I'm starting my wing not at the bottom here. I hope you can kind of see where I start that. I start it about here, where the end of my lash line is down here. So it's different. It's totally different. And I'm only doing the outer side of it first, and then I'll go back and finish the line.
And we've seen another technique too, where it is you kind of create a little triangle individually and then fill that in. If you have
Yeah.
larger lid space, that's possible. Now, I have very small lid space. I'm very blurry today. I don't know what you can see of me, but I can't really do that because I don't have enough space. But doing your wings separately, and yes, starting it up higher on the lash line like that, it makes it so much easier to get it where you want it to be.
So I hope you can see this one is
Yay.
more open and
Ooh.
lifted, where this one's looking a little more saggy, droopy, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Just simple placement
I was just
of
like
the...
amazed by the difference. It really looks so. I'm like, whoa. Sitting
So
here.
to whomever, I forgot who it was who brought up the 80s look.
Yeah.
You like read my mind because a very popular trend in the 80s, in the 90s, and even into the early aughts, if you were an emo kid,
Uh,
like guilty, a little guilty. A really popular thing that was going on makeup wise was lining underneath your eye. And there is a way to do that. and there is a way to not do that. I personally don't, I hardly ever line underneath my eye. And if I do, I usually use a shadow so that it's really subtle, because there's so many ways in which it can go wrong. If it's really dark and it's really heavy, what you're doing is you're, again, making that eye look really sunken in, making it look smaller and more closed. And then also, if you have dark circles, you're going to bring them out because there's darkness and it's just bringing out that darkness, right? So that's, it can just go wrong so many ways. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make it real
So let's
wrong.
let's make it real wrong.
I'm just going to line the entire underside of my eye. And I haven't done this since my emo kid days.
It is so early 2000s, like skater boy memories kind of coming back to me with that just heavy, heavy, heavy underline.
Yep.
And you can see there's all kinds of different techniques where, of course, you can line under the eyes and all that. We're not saying that at all. It's just that sometimes, and I know I did this when I was first starting doing my own makeup, I just like plop lined everything around it because it's like, well, whatever, you got to just line your eyes, right? And didn't realize it was doing the kind of opposite of what I wanted.
Yep. So yeah. It's funny. This is
Yes.
really becoming a little bit 80s on this
Yeah,
eye.
it really is.
What does that say about the 80s? I don't know. I don't know what that says about the 80s
Yeah,
makeup.
different time,
Different
more
times, yeah.
dramatic time, I guess.
But see what it's doing is it's really, for me, I think it's really making my eye look like droopy, droopy, droopy. Because now the parts that stand out in my eye are the lightness, the pink of my shelf, and the pink here in the inner corner. And so because this shelf is lighter, and on the outside here, it's like it looks like it's just coming down like this. And if I had any bloodshot eyes, which thankfully I don't today, but if I did,
Yeah.
then right now you would be very aware of that. But let me show you, if you do want to do an under eyeliner, how to achieve that. And I'm going to use just some shadow instead of the cake mascara for that.
We have some people saying they love the wrong eye and love the 80s rebellion. And again, it's because it's not bad. It's just a
It's not.
totally different style. And when you're doing it by accident, because you just let your brush slip, and I've absolutely done that a million times. That's kind of what we're talking about. And we also got a request to do a Zicky Stardust look, Jené. So if you want to do the full,
Whoa.
lightning across the face, tell us how to do that sometime.
Oh gosh, I would have to learn how to do that myself, but that sounds really fun.
Also, I was real quick. Natalie just said the two different eyes are like the two sides of my personality. Like I love that.
I love that too. That's so funny. So I just like with my fingertip took a little bit of dark brown eyeshadow matte, and then just went right here under the corner of my eye without bringing it inward. And hopefully that helps again create that. See, this to me just looks so droopy, which is not what I'm going for. But if that's what you're going for, if you're really feeling this, hey, more power to you.
Because sometimes just the dramatic, like, I just have I'm all shadows. That's me.
Yes.
That makes me
yes.
think of that very dramatic
But again,
teenager in
you
me.
can do dramatic, you can do dark, you can do smoky eye, you can do a big old wing that goes all the way out to your ear. But as long as you know the rules before you break the rules.
Exactly.
That's my thing. You got to learn the rules before you know how to break them. Okay, last step, of course, is going to be mascara. Today I'm going to use my Purple Cake mascara for my lashes. And so you may think, like, how is there a wrong way to do mascara? It's just mascara. You just stick it on your lashes, right? Well, if you've ever felt like, oh, my mascara doesn't really seem like it's doing anything for me, then chances are you probably could use some pointers on how to apply. Why am I doing this with my left hand when I'm right-handed? I don't know.
That's the fun of talking and being on camera and doing all this at the same time.
Honestly.
So you're doing it the wrong way. That's what you're doing, just subconsciously.
So, so if you ever are like, I don't know, this, mascara just seems to do nothing for my lashes except, give them a color, then probably, maybe you're using the wrong brush, maybe you're using the wrong mascara, or maybe you just need a little bit of pointers. So the wrong way to do mascara, which I've got naturally dark lashes, So today what I did ahead of time was I put some primer, eyelash primer on my lashes. You do not need to do that. I don't think you need to really do that. That's a super optional step. Um, but I did it just so that this part could be a little more obvious, because otherwise my lashes are already black, so it might be kind of hard to see. So I did do that. So basically, the wrong way, and I'm using my spoolie with my purple cake. The wrong way to apply mascara would be to just simply just apply straight to the ends of the lashes, just only the tips of the lashes. And sweeping downward, I'm going downward, and I'm only touching the tips of the lash.
And this has taken me back because I really remember doing that when I first started makeup because I was like scared to get the spoolie close to my eye, or you just don't realize how far into the eyelash you actually need to go. And you kind
Yes.
of just get the tips, and that kind of just weighs it down, right? When you don't have the base of
It
it.
weighs it down, and then it does nothing for your lashes. They're just going to stick straight out, and they're going to look exactly the same, but with some color on them. So not much has changed. And then another thing is applying mascara to the bottom lashes. Some people choose to omit that entirely, which is just based on personal preference. Some people like to apply it. And I would recommend, if you do like to apply it, just sticking to the ends of the lashes for the bottom. And so when you do the top, you want to get close to that root. When you do the bottom, you want to just hit the ends and stay toward the outside of the eye, again, because of that, the dark and light that we're working with. So I'm going to do it the wrong way. And with my bottom lashes, I'm going to cake it on. I'm going to get right up to that root, and I'm going to do all the lashes. And we may end up liking this look anyway, but what it's going to do is kind of make me look like a doll, like you see
Yeah,
like
just like those,
Raggedy Ann kind of lashes where, you know.
or just the bottom lashes are stick straight, so pronounced,
Right, and
kind of a
depending
thing.
on the type of mascara you use, Cake mascara is lovely and it does not clump. But if you're using a mascara that is prone to clumping, um, on the bottom
On the
lashes, those
bottom lashes, yeah.
clumpy lashes can make it look like you've got spider legs coming off your eyes. So there we go.
There we
I don't know
go.
if you can tell, if you can kind of see how we've
Yeah.
just got these straight little things. Okay, so now we're going to do it the right way. So here's the tip. Yeah, the tip and trick here is to get all the way in and do a little bit of a wiggle motion to
Okay.
evenly disperse your mascara. Notice how when I do it, like my eyelid itself is kind of lifting up because I'm getting so close to the root and I'm wiggling it out. And then what I'm also doing is lifting upward when I'm doing that. So it's helping to curl the lash. And
And it
then
is, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
one other thing, what I also like to do, and I've talked about this before in other videos, is carefully get the tops of the lashes as well with a swoopy up to help curl them even more.
I like the phrase swoopy up.
Swoopy up.
It gets it, you know exactly what you
Swoopy up.
mean.
Yeah.
With a little swoopy up, and you're ready to go.
I make up little things like that all the time,
Oh,
and
yeah.
gotta have fun.
English has so many words, and yet there's never enough. I'll make up words all day.
And then for the lower lash, I'm just gonna do the ends, and I'm just gonna do the outer lashes, and I'm gonna do that by just brushing it lightly
Oh.
back and forth.
Oh, neat. You're just brushing all the way across like that. Oh, neat.
Yep, very, very lightly, and that helps you just get the product right on the
And
end.
definitely be
Do
careful.
we see the difference?
Yeah, I mean, I was look I kind of have to look at two angles here when I watch this, and the difference is so extreme to me. Wow, that's so cool. And you can see, yeah, just it helps even because we had Kara talking about how she has really kind of round and big eyes, and it can be hard. And I would say definitely when you have larger eyes, I kind of do. Um, Keeping the lower stuff out of the tear ducts really helps. Keeping it kind of more to the edges on the lower lashes helps really just open that up, and without making your eyes look, too large, too small. It just sort of complements the shape of that. That is so lovely. And use the purple
Yay.
mascara. So I love having my little twists in these videos. So I wanted to share my little makeup twist today. So now I'm so blurry today. My internet's fooling. But I actually used the purple cake mascara as eyeshadow. So you'll see the dots on my nose. But I don't know how good you can see it, but I actually just used highlight from the Briar Rose palette and actual cake, purple cake as eyeshadow.
Amber,
And you
that's
just got
so
it really
cool.
extra wet and kind of painted it on. And then that's a very pretty purple color. You could use it.
Wow.
Feels like putting watercolors
Ugh,
on your
that might be
face.
my favorite Amber reveal yet.
I know. I'm just full of
I
these
wait for them.
twists.
I don't know what they are either. They're a surprise to me too, you guys. I'm
I
always like,
know.
what's she gonna tell us she's
Just
wearing today?
M.
That
Night
was
Shyamalan of
cool.
makeup tutorials, guys. I'll
Oh
admit it.
my gosh.
I know. I
No,
don't know if I'll
really.
get such a good twist again. That was my big reveal in my
So
back
how
pocket
so
there.
how did you achieve that? You just added a lot of extra water so that it was kind of like
Yeah.
watercolory?
Yeah, so usually, I actually use a little spray bottle and squirt it, but and you want to make more of a paste. Whereas I kind of let there be a little bit of like a puddle on top of the cake, and then brushed it in there and brushed it on. And if it was a little too washed out or kind of moving all over my eyelid, then I just got kind of deeper, pushing the brush on the cake so that it was a little more pigmented. And then I just took a like fluffier brush to use some of the other the highlight that I decided to use with it and blend it out a little bit. So then, yeah, I just blend it with
Very
a
cool.
dry, regular brush.
Hmm.
We had a quick question about the ceramic cake plate. Unfortunately, it's not going to be restocked right now. We may very well have those again in the future, but that was the end of that particular line. So it'll be a
Hmm.
little bit of a wait before it comes out again. But let
Yeah,
us know if
those
you have,
were
yeah,
a special like limited
yeah.
edition product that came out around the holidays. In case you didn't know, super cute little tray to hold the mascara. And if you got one, lucky you.
Yes, very lucky.
But maybe it will come back someday. Maybe next holiday. Who
Yeah,
knows?
who
Who
knows?
knows?
So let us know if you have any little last minute questions, but you can see like the huge difference. And Jené was purposely doing it wrong, but like I have done it before. It's just easy when you aren't quite sure of where to place eyeshadows and stuff for it to kind of just become one big thing. And hey, if that's the look you want, that is absolutely fine too. But this is just showing you how it's still easy, and only with two colors you can get that very refined, pretty look. So, as a treat for all of you, as we always have, you get a wonderful discount code. So, what we're going to do is let me just get that code one more time. You're going to get 15% off the things we use today. So, that's brown cake and purple cake, and as a bonus, the chocolate kiss that Jené is wearing. So for that, so you can get any of those three things or all three things for 15% off with the code EYES15. The code
Eyes?
EYES15.
Eyes 15?
And that's good just until tomorrow. That's April 29th, if you're watching this later, till about 3 p.m. Pacific time. So EYES15 for 15% off. Brown cake, purple cake, and the beautiful chocolate kiss lipstick. Let me just go back to see if there are any little questions. Are
Yeah.
we bringing back eye palettes, eyeshadows, stuff like that? We will have new palettes and new eyeshadows out soon. We can't know when because things are all a little up in the air because of what's going on, but we will have that. And tips to avoid raccoon eyes from mascara. Do you have any specific tips for that, Jené?
Mm, you know,
I mean,
I
part
would
of it,
say
yeah.
part of it's probably that what I talked about the lower lashes.
Yes.
If that is something that happens to you a lot, and my guess is you probably aren't using cake mascara because with cake mascara I don't have that problem. If you are using cake mascara and you're still having that issue, I'm going to recommend that you try to not apply it at all to your bottom lashes. See if that helps you, because chances are you might be applying it too heavy, too much into that, right into the root or something like that. And if you're blinking a lot, or if you are someone who rubs your eyes when, without even
Yeah.
thinking
You
about
live
it,
in a
it's going
sweatier
to
climate.
transfer.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's going to transfer if you do that, if it's already a lot on those lower lashes. So I would try just omitting it from the lower lashes entirely. Or if you don't want to do that, just do that trick that I did where I just sort of went back and forth, lightly brushing just the ends. And then another thing is, if you have a brightening powder, those are great for under eye placement anyway, to help, hide any under eye circles you may have. So if you do that, it will also, it's translucent, it's matte, it's going to set really nicely, and then help if you have like oily skin, or if you get a little, glistening in the daytime because it's warm out,
Yeah.
then that setting powder will also help. So hopefully those are
Yeah.
helpful tips.
Yeah, I have kind of watery eyes and I squint all the time because my vision's bad. And so I don't wear much powder, but like a setting powder under the eyes, yeah, it can definitely help. And not getting like into your, almost eyeball with the under eye mascara, which is
Right.
something I sometimes do. But there we go. And yeah, you can get Raccoon from the top lashes too. I mean, so it might be your mascara. It might be that it's irritating your eyes too much, but a setting powder will help some of that transfer from happening too much. Will we have new collections? Yes, we will. Special collections, I mean. We will. We can't say what they are, unfortunately. You'll have to
Top
stay
secret.
tuned for the future, but we do have new specialty collections coming out. We have both kind of classic colors and specialty collections.
Oh my gosh, we have so many exciting things coming. I am so excited. I know we can't talk about it, but
Nope.
Amber and I are some of the lucky people who get to know what's coming. And you
That's
just have to trust us that it's good stuff. There's really exciting stuff this year. Oh, I can't wait.
That is definitely true. I completely agree. Well, thank you guys so much. Again, that code is EYES15 if you want to have 15% off some of the things we use today. As a special, beautiful watcher, you get that. And we will be back next Tuesday. We'll also be back Thursday with me and Gabriela. Gabriela showing off her makeup antiques. But we'll be back next week. Again, leave comments, leave questions, leave suggestions for tutorials if you
Yeah.
want. We are always happy to do this, and we thank you so much for your patience with
Yes.
craziness and everything. And you guys are a delight. You're having such fun chats, and we're so happy that you joined us today.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you so much. We'll see you
Hope you
next
learned
time.
something.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.